So if you're going to tie your own flies, the best thing I can tell you to do, I think, really for a start, is to use your imagination. There's loads and loads of different materials you can use, whether they be feathers that we've got from different birds, pheasants, partridges, all them kind of things we use lots of, but there's all sorts of household synthetics you can use, and you can use other materials such as wool, different feathers, all sorts really. The scope for the materials to use to tie your own flies is completely endless. We've got different colour beads, plastic beads, metal beads, different size hooks, and really it just allows you to create as many different types of flies as you can. It just goes to show you that the range is really limitless. Right, we're going to tie a pheasant tail nymph variant. This is an olive pheasant tail nymph we're tying with olive thread, which will just start behind the eye and run down the hook there. When you get to about halfway, we'll take the scissors and take the excess thread off, and a piece of fine silver wire. If you lay that across the hook there, and a few wraps of thread to secure it, and carry on towards the bend. Your thread wants to come to rest somewhere just opposite the barb, perhaps maybe just slightly in front. We'll put that out of the way. We'll now take a piece of this pheasant tail fibre. We'll take a good few strands for a start to make the body of the fly. Just trim them out there. Another tip I'll give you when you're tying your own flies, when you're investing in your equipment, buy a really good sharp pair of scissors. They're not that expensive, anything between sort of £5 and £12 will buy quite a good set. But something with a fine tip allows you to cut your threads more cleanly and make a neater job of all your flies. Level the tips of those up. Lay them on, and with a bit of a pinch and loop technique, create the tail of the fly there. If you lift those out of the way now and put your thread in front of those, you want to be nearly 2/3 of the way back up the hook shank, and then wrap those towards you like so. When you get to where you need to be there, just secure it with a couple of wraps of your tie-in thread like that. That gets it out the way there. Keep them on the top, just manoeuvre them a bit, and then wind your rib towards you as well. Again, when you've wound the rib through, secure with a couple of wraps of thread. Break the excess off there, and then these fibres you've got of your pheasant tail, just fold them back and go over them with the tying thread. Just a few turns there. We're now going to take some material to make the thorax of the fly. This is just a bit of olive dubbing. We've got it in all sorts of colours. This is like a mixed rabbit fur, which has obviously been dyed an olive colour. We'll use a bit of that for this one. When you're actually out fishing, it can pay you to study the insects and wildlife around the lake or river that you're fishing at, and if you can maybe take some samples away with you of the various insects and things, you can try and replicate those at your fly tying vise, and hopefully that'll give you a close copy of what the fish are actually eating on, and make you a more successful angler. And if you just tease out a few strands of that and just roll it onto the thread, just twist it on with your fingertips. Don't try to put too much on, because you can always go back and add a bit more later on. So we'll start off like that. Put some wraps of dubbed thread on there like that, and the thread will come to rest behind the eye, where now what we'll do is we'll pull the pheasant fibres over the back for the wing case. Couple of wraps to hold them in. Trim off with the scissors finish the head and just add a couple of turns of a whip finish. And hey presto, a simple fly. One really good tip for learning to tie flies that I'd strongly encourage you to do is try and find, if you've a local angling club, you might be able to find details at your local tackle shop, and that would be a good place to start and get some lessons and learn the correct technique so that it makes your life a little bit easier when you sat tying your flies.